there is a question, like whether the egg came first or the hen came first. Like that, there is a question whether grace comes first or your effort comes first. Now I am putting the question to you. What is your experience? So many of you have come from very long distance. Generally, you know how it happens. Somewhere you have a glimpse of a sage, either directly, mostly directly you have to see a person who is carrying this flame in him. Then you know, by just seeing that, the spark falls in your mind, which might be carrying dry grass. It gets lit. It is quite possible also. Many have come to Tiruvannamalai just by opening a book on Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi somewhere in a bookstall. Many are the stories. Seeing Bhagavan's photo, they recognize. That phenomenon happens because you are carrying that sagehood in your own being. This outer photo or outer book is just a suggestion. It is like a mirror. So, kindling the sagehood inside you is grace. The potential inside you. Potentially we are all realized, illumined. The light is there. There is no one who is not carrying it. Everyone is having it. Outwardly, some book, some person, something, that is actually, even to come in contact with that book, it is also grace. Yoga Vasishta says, Yavanna anugraha sakshad jayate parameshwarat. Till you get the grace of Parameshwara, tavat, till then, Sadgurum Kashit, a true Sadguru. Now we have to write it SAT-Guru, otherwise it will become Sad Guru. Tavat na Sadgurum Kashit, Sat Shastram, true spiritual book, you can say. That also you will not come in touch with. Sat Shastram Vapino Labhet. When you are really, ready to wake up, you just touch a spiritual book, you will feel it. It has happened to me. I was only 12 years or 13 years old. Something I was searching in a Alamara. Children, they do that. Something searching, don't know what. Suddenly this book, Bhagavad Gita, fell down. The moment I saw the book, it was as if the feeling was, I know this book. Perhaps, who knows, last Janma, the study was over. So the feeling was like, I know the book. And opening the book for 2 years, reading only second chapter. There was no desire to go to the third chapter, not to read the first chapter. So guided by some Purva Samskara. And what meaning did I understand? Perhaps it is not verbal meaning. In those times, it was not verbal meaning, it was a joy. And the most fascinating thing in that book is, the word Atma. It was like mantra. The word Atma, it was as if like mantra. So with all this Purva Samskara, we come to this world. Videha Prakritilayanam. That Yoga Sutra says, Videha Prakritilaya. In Purva Janma, without attaining the highest, but putting enormous effort, the person gives up his body. But now he comes to this world with all that treasure. And some touch comes, it opens up. Then you know. Then you say, oh, I have not put any effort, it is sheer grace. Kripa. Grace. So that is the first opening. The spiritual opening happens to the person. That is how many people come to Tiruvannamalai. The spiritual opening happens. Pure grace. And if you ask why that grace only for that person, answer we will say, last Janma he has put effort. So is it effort or grace? It is grace. Why grace? Effort. That is why I said what? Yes. That is it. So, whether it is grace or effort, your very effort is grace. And the sign of grace is effort. You know, the sign of grace is you are able to joyfully do sadhana. That is grace. In Tamil there is a song which says, by His grace I am able to worship Him. Avan arulale, avan tal vanangi. By His grace I am prostrating at His feet. There is one story of Manickavachagar. He was a minister of a king. And he was a potential sadhaka, longing for the experience of bhakti. Shivanubhava. And he was a thoroughly read scholar, great scholar. And he was also struggling to realize, trying to find God through various sadhanas. All that he has said in Tiruvachakam. There is no sadhana that I have not tried. Everywhere I failed, he says. Every path I walked and knocked the door and the door did not open. I failed. And one day, so the only sadhana, real sadhana is you keep on longing for it. You don't know how the door will open. So he was going on praying, going on weeping inside, longing for that. Ramakrishna gives an example of a bird which will not drink water from the earth. It will always keep its mouth open, waiting for the celestial water. It will not drink from earth. Like that, the true sadhaka also is not satisfied by reading books, outside things, waiting for the deeper experience. So with that longing, his prarabdha was to be the minister. One of the worst job you can have. Politics. You can see all that reflected in his words also. Bluffing, becoming arrogant, all that comes with that. in that field. He says, Nan yanadu enum mayam kadittavaile nindru. He says, even I cannot avoid bluffing. I have to behave like a minister, as a proud person. In such a worst condition I was, and inwardly, what can I do? I was going on crying, and in that vastu, he says, that thing, that absolute truth which the Vedas are seeking, he himself came before me. And it happened in a mysterious way. One day, king himself called him and told him, we have some military necessities, good horses, very majestic horses have come. The seashore, about 100 or 150 miles away. So you go there and buy those horses. So with lot of money, he went. All the while he was thinking, what a life is this? All this business, all this politics, and all shallow people. And so much temptation around. Living in this, I don't know how Lord is going to rescue me from this prison. You know what he gives a beautiful picture, very powerful simile. He says, I am like an ant which is caught in a dry wood. This side also fire, this side also fire. Iru thalai kolli nadu erumbu. That is the simile that he gives. This side also fire, the dry wood, this side also is carrying, the fire is coming towards me. This side also fire is coming towards me. I cannot run either this side or that side. Caught in between. Like that is my life. So in such a situation, tell me, what can we do? What sadhana can you do? You join one course, 1 week. Nothing can be done. And in such a situation, the king tells him, buy the horses. So much of money was given to him. With that, he goes. On the way, they were camping in various places in a village. He was camping with, as a minister. Lot of servants will be there, lot of army men will be there, military men will be there. They were all there. And then, seeing him, one elderly person tells him, you look like a bhakta. And in our village, there is a Mahatma. He is staying here with 1,000 or 3,000? I think 3,000 disciples of him. So go and see him. Hearing those words, he feels very happy. He goes to that village, and there he sees under a tree, the shade of a tree, a sagely being is sitting, just like Bhagavan sitting with one leg down and another leg on his knee, like Dakshinamurti. That sage was sitting there, and all his disciples were around him. Manickavachagar goes there and does his prostration and looks at that sage. The very moment he says, that old man completely misguided me. Because he told me, come to our village, you can see a Swami, a saint, a sage. But I am not seeing a sage, I am seeing Shiva. He says, he is not wondering at that vision. He is wondering at his own power that has opened up inside him, by which he is able to see that. Shivan avan ena kandanan kanga. He says, it is purely grace that I didn't see a human being there, I see divine there. And the power of that seeing is, the moment he saw Shiva there, he became Shiva. See, such simple is spiritual life. When everyone is pregnant with realization, right time of delivery, it happens. The realization is ready to come out, then he looks at a realized being and recognizes the realization in him, and that very moment he also opens up. This is the mystery of it. Ashcharya, the Upanishad itself says Ashcharyam. Ashcharya means wonder. The greatest wonderful phenomenon is that a mature disciple meets an illumined master. That very moment the disciple also becomes illumined. That simple it is. And the story is, next day morning he was in Samadhi, and next day morning neither the 3000 disciples were there nor the Guru. The result of seeing that Guru, what happened? This person becomes mad. Lost all worldly sense. He is a minister, spend all government money in building a temple. There, that spot. And what happened? He was put in jail. So, don't be in a haste to get realized. We don't know who will put us in jail. See, realizations and madness has something in common. No? Madness means a person cannot decide that after retirement I can become mad. No. People give you advice, spiritual life at all this after becoming old. After retirement you start your spiritual life. Not now. But a mad person, you cannot advise him. He is mad and you cannot tell him, after your children are grown up, after coming out of your job, you can become mad. When you are free, you can become. No. So, this state, then a great divine drama happened around. All that are the part of the story. I am not going to tell you. So the thing is, when grace generally happens, in such a way that you have true satsanga. When you meet a sage, the sage inside you wakes up. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Yato mamatma bhavasi tvameva tato na vachyam mama kinchidasti yathata veshtam kurumam tathaiva tvam atmanatham ramanam bhajam.